No Elon.
But she also brought us Dr. Oz and The Secret. We have to remember what this lady has done.
She has to be held accountable.
I forgive her, but The Secret is a particularly egregious offense.
What, you just...
Oh, you don't believe?
You don't believe?
Oh, believe?
I want to be rich.
When I had a son, I stopped watching Oprah because it was just too anti-male, and I felt like I didn't want to bring him up in a home where Oprah was constantly attacking men, and it's really helped a lot.
Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson just tag-teamed the cultural icon herself, Oprah. And the results were savage, hilarious, and absolutely jaw-dropping. From her billion-dollar book club to her hypnotic soft power, they pulled no punches. Rogan called out the wellness hustle, while Tucker exposed the velvet-gloved empire of emotional manipulation. No scented candle or vision board was safe. This wasn't a roast. It was a full-blown demolition of the Queen of Talk. Brace yourself. Oprah's kingdom just got shaken to its core.
Yes, and it's honestly...
She's a little old to be falling down. You loved it?
I loved it.
Wow.
Loved it. She didn't get hurt.
People get hurt.
She's fine.
She's dead.
She died?
Yes.
All right. Ding dong. The witch is dead.
She didn't.
No,
if she did, and I was
if she died from the fall.
About her. No, she didn't die.
No, she's fine. I just think like
she looks like she got hurt.
It's nice to see billionaires fall.
I agree. And remember, keep your boys away from Oprah. It'll make them feel bad about
I didn't quite know how to respond to that.
It's absolutely true. Keep your girls away from rap, your boys away from Oprah, and everybody will be fine.
Joe Rogan didn't ease into it. He came in swinging like he had just mainlined a gallon of espresso and found Oprah's book club sitting on his porch reading manifestos with that trademark intensity. He raised his eyebrows, chuckled like he knew a secret the rest of the world hadn't caught on to, and then tore into it like a bear finding an unattended charcuterie board.
I am rich.
I imagine myself flying. I can fly. I will beat my wings until I take off. What's up?
Yeah.
It was one of the more I want to say disturbing, but it was confusing when that was taking hold with people. When I had friends that were telling me that The Secret is real and that they imagined they were going to fulfill these childhood dreams that they had about whatever, being a fucking astronaut, whatever it would be. There's a couple people that I knew that were trying to tell me that The Secret was going to be the thing and that they had a vision board and they had photographs, they put pictures up of the things that they wanted. Like them in front of large crowds and shit. And I'm like, oh boy.
Them in front of large crowds.
This is so not how it works.
Yeah.
Joe said, Oprah's influence is like black hole gravity. You get too close and next thing you know, you're eating kale chips, meditating on a crystal rock, and buying $79.00 gratitude journals you didn't know you needed. She doesn't sell products. She hypnotizes people into draining their savings on soap that smells like enlightenment. According to Joe, Oprah could sell bottled tap water and convince people it was collected from the melted glaciers of ancient wisdom.
Notice that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag.
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think it's political or do you think it's deeper than that? I mean, you're not like a right-winger.
No.
No. You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, just want to do right.
Then he leaned in a little, smirking, and said, people treat Oprah like she's the messiah of good vibes. But let's be honest, half her advice sounds like it came from a fortune cookie written during a midlife crisis. It's all inner peace this, vision board that. Like your problems can be solved with a scented candle and a motivational meme.
That's why it's sold, but Oprah sold it. I mean, she was one of the big ones, man. And she was
in.
She was fucking 50 years old at the time. I mean, this is not a young woman who is selling this. How old is Oprah now?
75.
89? No, she just ran a marathon in 4 hours.
Did she? Joe couldn't help but bring up the Oprah effect. How whatever she touches turns to gold. But he said it's not magic, it's mass hypnosis. The woman could point at a mop, call it a life changer, and suddenly there's a nationwide shortage because America collectively decided it was the key to emotional healing. He said people don't even question her anymore. If Oprah told people to eat pine cones to align their chakras, the next day Whole Foods would have a pine cone wellness aisle.
I've been excluded on Oprah,
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with.
Joe started on the interviews. He said watching Oprah interview celebrities is like watching a therapist host a talk show on Mars. She asks a question, then stares at you like your soul owes her rent. Somehow she can make someone cry by just blinking slowly and nodding. It's a Jedi mind trick in high heels. He brought up how Oprah has become this floating deity in the American consciousness. Not just a talk show host, but a lifestyle deity guiding lost souls toward artisanal bread and vegan skin cream. According to Joe, she's less of a person now and more of a cultural brand, like a sentient aromatherapy diffuser who occasionally grants book deals and makes you cry during lunchtime. And then Joe went full Rogan. He said the real reason Oprah is so powerful is because she's the queen of the vague insight. He threw his arms up and said, "We're living in a world where Oprah could run for president and people would vote based on whether or not she made them cry in 2006. Never mind the policy, did she help you find your inner child during a rerun? Yes? Great. Hand her the nuclear codes."
Joe Rogan is calling out Oprah and Michelle Obama for hypocritical speeches at the DNC. Watch.
She's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey, lady.
Yeah, I know.
You're rich as Like, how is that equal? And also, when Michelle Obama was saying, you know, I think she was saying her mother or grandmother was always suspicious of people who took more than they needed.
Yes.
Like, you are worth so much money.
Take more than they need. The Obamas have 4 mansions.
And as he leaned back with a grin, Joe made it clear he wasn't hating, he was amazed. Amazed that one woman could become a billionaire by essentially being everyone's emotional barista, serving up hot cups of self-worth with a splash of commercial break. Meanwhile, in a different corner of the media jungle, Tucker Carlson was preparing to roast Oprah with the precision of a man who reads stock reports with a magnifying glass and listens to classical music while cleaning his guns. He approached it like he was dissecting a national security threat disguised in a power suit and a book deal. Tucker began by pointing out that Oprah isn't just a media mogul, she's the undisputed queen of soft power. Then he narrowed his eyes like he was reviewing a classified file and said, "Oprah is the most terrifying kind of powerful. Nice. Not just polite, not just pleasant. No, professionally nice. The kind of nice that walks into a room and makes you apologize for existing incorrectly. She's like if a cult leader discovered linen pants and spiritual journaling."
You know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know. I don't know what that's
on Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's.
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
Tucker went into full philosopher mode. He said the world sees Oprah as the embodiment of goodness, but really, she's the CEO of curated vulnerability. She packages trauma like a luxury item and sells redemption in monthly installments. You get a healing, you get a healing. Everyone gets a healing, as long as they have a subscription and access to her app. He said Oprah turned crying into a business model. He later said, once you're rich, you turn cancer. Her brand is basically feel deeply, spend generously. She doesn't just market products, she markets enlightenment, as if the key to fulfillment is buried somewhere between a Himalayan salt lamp and a cashmere throw pillow. Then came the part where Tucker looked truly disturbed. He said Oprah made it fashionable to treat self-help like religion, therapy like a group chat, and feelings like financial assets. In her world, emotional turmoil is content, and healing is a hashtag. It would be trending on wellness blogs coast to coast. Tucker wasn't finished. He said Oprah doesn't even run a network, she runs a spiritual MLM with better lighting. The moment she endorses something, it goes from unknown to holy relic. She could point to a doormat and say it changed her life, and next thing you know, Home Depot is overrun with soccer moms crying in aisle 3.
You should learn, those fucking shiny bottom shoes, them bitches are useless. You can't wear those things. They're so slippery. those really expensive shoes that the gals like that always have the shiny bottoms.
Yeah.
Here she is walking, and I believe she's talking about balance, which is LOL.
He said, Oprah's real power isn't in her audience. It's in the silence between her words. She stares, nods, waits, and in that quiet, people confess things they didn't even tell their therapist. It's sorcery, really. Emotional acupuncture with commercial breaks. Tucker's tone got serious for a moment, but the absurdity remained. He said the scariest part about Oprah is that she never blinks first in a conversation. She's always the calmest person in the room, like she's already lived the next 10 years and is just humoring you while you catch up. You could be melting down, spiraling, sobbing, and Oprah would be sitting there, one hand on her lap, the other on a silk-bound notepad, looking at you like you just shared a weather update. Then he raised his eyebrows and said, if there were a Mount Rushmore of media manipulation, Oprah would be the mountain, not the sculpture. She didn't just build a brand, she built a belief system, a faith where she's the high priestess and the gospel is feel your truth, monetize your pain, and always say it with a smile. And with that, Tucker Carlson leaned back, folded his arms, and let the image linger. A world ruled not by fear, not by control, but by a warm voice, a slow nod, and a recommendation that comes with a promo code.
Watch this. This is Oprah asking Trump if he's going to run for president. That's it. Play it.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably. But I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country, and if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing.
Both Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson, two wildly different personalities, had somehow arrived at the same conclusion through totally different paths. Oprah is less a person now and more of a cultural weather system. One that leaves behind a trail of gratitude journals, protein shakes, inspirational quotes, and a strangely expensive fleece blanket that just feels like forgiveness, with both of them only scratching the surface. The roast was far from over. The empire of Oprah still stood, towering and untouchable, but not immune to a little comedic demolition. Joe wasn't letting up. He circled back like a hawk that spotted fresh prey, laughing. As he said, Oprah's greatest achievement wasn't just building an empire. It was doing it in a way that made people thank her for the privilege of getting hustled. He said she could sell you your own couch and convince you it came with emotional clarity. You'd sit on it thinking you're healing. Meanwhile, she's halfway to the bank writing a gold-plated gratitude journal. He said, you know you're powerful when you can casually drop a book recommendation and the author's next stop is the private jet dealership. Joe mocked the reverence, saying, Oprah doesn't recommend books, she canonizes them. A simple nod from her and suddenly your memoir about raising chinchillas in the Midwest becomes a sacred text with a Netflix deal. She could recommend a coloring book and people would write dissertations about it.
All things are equal or at peace at all times.
Oh, she bites the dust. Let's see how she recovers.
She says new shoes.
Oh, those rude fucks. They edit it so she hits the ground over and over again. Well, you know what? I got to say, I like how she framed with her elbow and then did a roll. Right. She absorbed a lot of energy in a roll.
Good technique, Oprah.
Not bad.
Then he turned to the infamous giveaways. Joe said Oprah's audience reactions looked like they were witnessing a divine miracle. People losing their minds over blenders and discount cruises like they just got touched by the spirit of finance. And every time Oprah stood there smiling like a benevolent queen, bestowing small appliances upon the masses, somewhere a marketing team high-fived in slow motion. Meanwhile, Tucker came back swinging from the other side. He said the real secret to Oprah's success was that she never left room for dissent. Disagreeing with Oprah feels like blasphemy. Try saying you didn't love a book she recommended and watch your social life evaporate. It's not just branding, it's conditioning. You don't just follow Oprah, you submit.
There's probably no one in history that I've ever seen that's been attacked the way you've been attacked.
He just wouldn't go. He was like a bug. He just kept being there. He was like a bug right there. So you felt...
And the way they've done it, so coordinated and systematically. When you see those same people in the past, very favorable to you, like Oprah, when you were on Oprah's show.
Very.
Donald Trump doesn't just live large. He lives, really, on top.
He even joked that Oprah could show up to a policy debate, speak for 6 minutes about spiritual wholeness, and walk out with bipartisan approval. Politicians spend years trying to win hearts. Oprah shows up with a soft voice, tells you to journal, and suddenly she's more trusted than the Surgeon General. Tucker said she's the only person alive who could start a religion, call it brunch, and nobody would blink. There'd be candles, linen robes, and a reading list, and people would sign up twice just to feel seen. And as they both leaned back, watching the cultural colossus that is Oprah, neither of them believed the roast was done. Because with Oprah, there's always another layer, another smile, and another $1 trillion insight hiding behind a soft whisper.